So we are here in pressure support CPAP, patient moving along, breathing spontaneously. You can see the pressure dips in the curve as well as the nice pink purple T showing up there at the top for each spontaneous effort. Now, what will happen in this mode if the patient goes apneic? Well, remember, based on our alarm profile, we have our apnea time set at 20 seconds. So once 20 seconds is reached of no spontaneous effort, which you're going to see no patient effort show up there in a minute, well, less than a minute, a few seconds. And then, see, low respiratory rate, no patient effort, and here we are in backup mode. And remember that backup mode is based on these settings that we made over there to the side. Okay? Now notice, like I said, I wasn't sure how much pressure I would need to give them an appropriate tidal volume, but notice their tidal volume is about 723. Now, this isn't horribly large for a 6'2" male, but it's probably a little too big. We would like to be more in the 600, 650, definitely not over 700. So let's actually turn this down a little bit to get this under 700. And then notice I just started triggering again, and so now we're back to spontaneous breathing. But if we go apneic again, you will see our volume now will be less because I turned down our backup pressure. So here in a moment, you'll see our volume should be under 700 now. See, 635, 630. So good. Okay. Now, the last thing we want to cover here is we want to decrease, here we are, taking care of the alarm by the patient starting to breathe, but we want to decrease our compliance to 20 mils per centimeter of water pressure, okay, and see what happens. So what would you expect to happen? So we've got a delta P of 11, right, because we've set pressure support 11 above 5, which gets us our 16 plus there's 1 of overshoot. It's very common to have peak pressures overshoot by 1. So that's what we're doing there. Well, what will happen with the same amount of pressure if we get less mils per centimeter of water pressure? Right, we're going to expect our volume to go down. And notice, here's our first breath with compliance going from 40 down to 20. Notice our tidal volume about halves. It's exactly what we would expect, right? If we half compliance, we get half as many mils for the same pressure. So we would expect a tidal volume of about half, and that's where we've gone. So again, if we were ventilating this patient, what would we need to do at this point? If we can't solve the compliance issue, we're going to have to turn up our pressure support level. And notice when we turn that up, now we halved our tidal volume, not, almost half, just not quite. So we are going to almost have to double our pressure support level. So let's try 20. We shouldn't need to quite, but let's try going to 20 and see where our volume goes to. 460. So we are actually going to have to double it. There we go. We're back just over 500, right around 500, which is where we started. 510, 499.